checking your kids' texts and, you know, monitoring their location now is huge. It's funny how like parents do all of that and then kids already have a way around it. I was talking to my little stepsister and she was telling me this like app that like she has on her phone that shows like where she is. She just went beep boop boop and this is how you like kind of just get around it so like parents can't see where
you are,
where I'm going. I was just like, it's almost like you could have like the assurance of your kid's going to tell you where you are without having to track them, because no matter what, they're going to figure out a way around it.
That's what I want to have with like my kid. It's like wherever you're going, I just want to know the truth about it.
Yeah.
And like we can have a discussion.
Yeah. Or even,
you know,
even like have that app, try to build something where the app is there for emergencies and like, you know, not using this to see wherever you are all the time. Just tell me, you know, kind of what you're saying.
Yeah.
But it's so funny, like texting, like workaround. Like location workaround. Like there's probably a couple other ones like there's a workaround.
Yeah. I mean, if you're smart enough, like I had tons of, you know, like even with the way I would watch porn in high school, like workaround, you know, like my sister used to, like this before any like the apps really, this is when like Life 360 and like Find My really like started getting popular. Like my mom would check my location in college when I was in like freshman and sophomore year all the time. And she would do that with my youngest sister. And what my sister used to do is she figured out a way to like make it so that her location pinged from an iPad, not from her phone. And so what she would do is be like, hey, I'm going over to blah, blah, blah's house, and then she'd go over and she'd like drop off the iPad and then be able to go wherever she wanted.
See, workaround.
One of the like possible topics we could talk about, did you hear TikTok is like probably going to get banned in Montana? Like Montana is the first state where I forget how the process works, but like the base level of like we want to pass this bill has been passed, and now it's going to like the governor for them to like sign off on it. And people are basically saying like, yeah, it's going to happen. And so Montana is going to be the first U.S. state to like officially ban TikTok.
Interesting.
But like you were saying, people are just going to find a workaround. Like VPNs are. Don't you get a VPN now free on your iPhone?
I think so, actually. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I pay for NordVPN.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's just so easy to get it now. I guess the question is that going to work? Because I know for some stuff VPNs don't work.
I feel like it's like a good analogy. Like, you know how like the curve of innovation, it's like the founders, then it's in like the early adopters.
Yeah.
Like kids just sit in that zone. So like if you're trying to prevent them from doing something, they're at like the best time to like know about everything to get around that shit. It's like, it's a fucking battle.
And it's never been easier to find information on like how like people will literally blow up on TikTok because they make a video that's like, hey, here's how you get around Life 360.
Yeah.
Download this app.
Yeah.
Or like, hey, here's how to like get around blah, blah, blah,
here's
blah.
Here's how you like don't have to do your math homework.
Yeah.
Like, fuck being a parent right now.
Yeah.
You got to be on your A game.
See,
you got to be on your A game if you want to be a parent right now.
That's why I'm like, I don't know. I just think like strict parenting is such a fucking terrible way to parent your kid right now. Because it's never been, unless you're going to lock that kid in a basement, it has never been easier to be a bad kid.
Yeah. Or like find workarounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think, there's definitely, there's a new show, about coming out. Like, what's the best parenting style?
Have you ever seen the curve of how like technology has evolved over the last X amount of years or whatever? It's crazy. Like, it's like every year we have like faster X, like faster Y at an exponential level. Like before it was like, oh, you know, our internet speed used to be 10 kilobytes per second and now it's 20 after like 2 years. Now it's like, oh, the fastest speed was 1 gigabyte. Well, now it's 10 gigabytes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
In like a year.
That,
in like half a year.
Yeah. Like that progression, I think, changes the dynamic of things like that too, where kids are becoming are like moving with the times, and now these parents that thought they were good parents 10 years ago look extremely different from good parents now.
Yeah.
And the good parenting philosophies 10, 20 years ago, I don't think apply to good parenting now.
Yeah.
Where I think good parenting now is being able to be realistic about your kid is probably going to get up to some fuck shit. You want to be in a position where your kid feels like they can talk to you about it. Because I think the biggest trouble is going to be those kids who are figuring out the workarounds and something bad happens to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like my biggest fear is my kid not being able to tell me, hey, I'm going to go to this party. and me not being like, oh, okay, like I'll stay up late tonight and like you need someone to drive you back. Like anything like shit hits the fan, I'm your first call. Like I just want to know exactly where you are so that like, hey, you're not responding at 1 a.m. I know exactly like where your last phone ping was, not to check on you to like get you in trouble, but to be able to be like, hey, like you're here, you know, are you okay? If you're not okay, at least I know that information versus like, you know, parents
being
are
in the dark. Yeah.
Parents are gonna, oh, my kid went missing. Oh, they're at their friend Lizzie's. Oh, turns out that they did this workaround.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah.
They're not.
Like a kid having to feel like they need to hide that, I think is the worst parenting style that you can have right now.
I mean, that's probably happened forever though. Like that's not new though. I think if anything, it was.
I don't know.
I think if anything, it was easier to like do some fuck shit. Like
my point is that like the technology that's it's like technology is generally made to be like a good thing,
and like a solve,
but then people
kind of like
use it for a bad thing or like use it wrong. Yeah, as a solve, right? Like it in my head, it is a
same
good
thing
thing
with the telephone though. It was invented so you could call and just be like, oh,
no, but that's telephone is technology. What I'm saying is like, if you're gonna have this technology where you can, let's say you're my kid, I can track where you are at any time. It shouldn't be abused, but it should still be able to be utilized. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where now I think your parenting style has to be to fit that so that it's an actually effective thing. Where like if you're my kid, you shouldn't feel the need to find a workaround because I'm too strict about where you can go that I'm going to judge you. You know what I'm saying?
And you think
like,
that's harder now than it was in the past?
No, I don't think it's harder. I think people like that wasn't something somebody had to think about. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, before when they couldn't, let's say like I'm thinking more of a daughter, you know, they didn't have something where, oh, if your daughter goes missing, there's something to look at where like you can see where their location was, you know, like you're more in theory, the technology that we've built should help support that. If you have your daughter's location and you can see like, let's say the kidnapper's dumb, you can see that like the kidnapper still has your daughter's phone with them. That's supposed to be something that helps that. But if that kid felt the need to hide their location and change it, what's the good of that technology? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So back in the day, if your kid was doing some fuck shit behind your back, like I guess it didn't matter because like no matter what, like the technology wasn't there to help aid you. Now that we have the technology, I would much rather parent my kid in a way where they don't feel the need to make that technology pointless.
Yeah.
Like it's very you know, and granted, parents are really fucking terrible. You know, like I don't think it was cash money of my mom to check my location and call me out when I was staying at a girl's place, you know? Like that was really fucking annoying, and that would make me want to be like, hey, I don't like that you have my location. Let me change that. But, you know, used in a good way, that location can save a life or at least be useful.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Like if I go AWOL, I would prefer for my, like, you know, even if it's just your last known location.
Yeah.
Right? But now I think you need to have a parenting style that complements those things that can help in those types of situations. And I think the thing that could help is, you know, it's been very common to be like very strict on your kids and enforce this, like, this is how you have to be. These are like, you know, no sex, like no drinking. Like, I think it's super unrealistic for parents to expect that of their kids now with the day and age and technology of like, hey, this is kind of a normal thing. You might as well teach your kid how to do it responsibly and have them trust you so that if those situations pop up, you're not fucked.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, yeah, that makes sense. I think I
was just not explaining it very well.
Yeah, and I think you just tried to like hit a point on like that didn't happen in the past. And I was like, no, like it did, but now it's just there's a different version of that.